All right, man. So you got the Detroit Pistons who are reportedly interested in Yaxel. Um, yep, from the Dominican LeBron from Michigan. I'm not surprised by that. I think a lot of people gonna have their eye on him in that draft, the maturity, the physicality. Um, I mean, the athleticism, the skill. Um, Dusty got a good program going there. People be forgetting Michigan pockets run deep. A lot of people want that dude or Emmanuel. They want bro out of there. You know what I'm saying? They want him, and I'm just like, bro, he bought a national championship in both cases. I ain't really understand that, but he's done a tremendous job as I think that the head of the sport. I forget the department. I forget what they call it, but Detroit Pistons would probably have interest in moving it up in the draft for Yaxel Lendeborg. Yeah, this is a dude and Yaxel Lendeborg who, can get to the rim, know his position, probably come in and contribute right away. That's what I think. He probably can come in and contribute right away to them. Right now, they got them going 11 to Golden State, and I think you can make that deal with Golden State. I think Golden State is a team that's probably trying to move up, in the draft. His vertical ain't as much as I thought it was, but then again, at 6'10", 241, I mean, that's your answer right there for, to succeed Tobias Harris. I mean, he shot 37% from three, can put the ball on the ground, solid free throw shooter, solid rebounder. I don't know how that, I think that translate 15 points a game, 1.2 blocks. I mean, right then and there, I think you can plug him in and, he's probably, and comes from a hotbed in Jersey, great hoopers. I think you could plug him in right with Tobias Harris and, that saves you some capital and some money for Trey Murphy and Laurie marketing. He's going to come in and be able to fit right in, mature, senior, been through some ups and downs, been through some trials and tribulations throughout his career. So the keeper the Bow Wow. I think this is a good look. This is a good look. Long wingspan, 7'3". I mean, pretty much you getting Tobias that's a little bit more athletic. You getting a more athletic Tobias Harris. So, I think that's what you really want to. That's what you really want to get at, to be real. If you the cheaper way is to build through the draft, and yeah, it's gonna cost some capital to jump up there to get them. Because you look, they at what 18. 21, and Golden State needs some help. What would that deal look like? I mean, yeah, you got to give up something to get something, but also with Steve Kerr coming back, they're not starting over, so they need veteran pieces. They need veteran pieces. That is a fact. They need veteran pieces. So with Steve Kerr coming back, there's some pieces you can give up. Now, if it get to the thing about it is the expenses are low. You're able to fill a forward position without having to pay a whole bunch of money right now. Drafting him at possibly 12. I can get you for a whole bunch of money. And then I just have to worry about being able to get a guard that can help us, get us a couple guards that can create their own shot and a couple shooters. So that's the only thing you're really looking at. And if you can bank on Beasley coming back, and who knows if Beasley can come back, that's one down. And then you got to go get you somebody that can play next to Cade Cunningham. That can get you a bucket. Don't have to be expensive or a big name. It just has to be effective. What I'm saying? It has to be effective. You can't waste Cade's prime years with him carrying this team offensively. You gotta pretty much get the load off his back. No Diddy, no Harvey Weinstein, but that's just what it's gonna have to be. That's just what it's gonna have to be. So, so they gotta help him. You don't want to put that stress on his knees. You don't want to put that stress on his back. You don't want to put that stress on him. That's what happened to Cade Cunningham. They put a lot of stress on that guy. I mean, on Grant Hill. And, that's why he didn't see. That's why, and he played on a bad ankle. But like I said, that's still, putting a lot of stress on him. So, but yeah, Yaxel Lendeborg, good look. And a couple of them guys down there, Morez Johnson Jr., somebody they can look at, big, strong kid. But you got Yaxel. That's kind of like going from Yaxel and having Tobias, coach him up. I mean, probably at the soonest, probably mid-year, you will see him take over that spot. So they got some. It's a deep draft. I was saying Jeff T said the draft ain't that deep. I think it's a really deep draft. A lot of these guys are contingent on development. Just look at the first 10 picks: freshman 3, freshman 4, 4, freshman 5, freshman 6, freshman 7, freshman 8, 9, 10. I lost count. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even got any international players throughout the 10. All freshmen top 10 in this mock. Then you get to a senior in Yaxel Lendeborg. Then you get international. You get a sophomore, junior, sophomore, back to freshman, sophomore, senior. The draft has changed. It has changed. But you get a guy that's built like Tobias Harris that might be more athletic. I think even when Tobias is coming out, I watched him at Tennessee. So you're getting a guy that's more athletic. So that's the beauty of it. So. But I like it, I wouldn't mind if they traded up for A-Cuff. The only thing, the issue with that is, I know that's not possible probably. The only issue with that is putting a young brother like that back in the crib. I wouldn't want to put him in that position. But if they was able to make this happen, I think at that point, then you just need a couple guys that can get you a bucket. You know what I'm saying? Who can just, whether it's Monk and Norman Powell or bringing back Beasley or Norman Powell. And I was hearing some mocks about Kyrie, which I'm going to talk about at some other point in time. I was hearing some mocks, just too much. A guy coming off a leg injury, 34, giving up 2 firsts, that's too much. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see what happens, man. So it's a lot of this is contingent on development. And I think we don't see a lot of people develop like Jimmy Butler developed this offensive game. Kawhi developed this offensive game. You know what I'm saying? We don't see that development no more. And it's hard. When you're 19, 18, you're a freshman, you got all that money, you really ain't worry about development. You worry about other things. You got family, you got chicks, you got off the field endeavors, a lot of distractions. So that's why character come into very high play, and meeting a family is basically like recruiting. You basically a college recruiter now when you're an NBA GM, president of operation and scout. Because you got to make sure they had a support system to be successful. But hey, check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.